I've got to say, I find it nonsensical to say, well, it's the first 2 years of this administration, and of course first off, the first budget proposed killing the program altogether. And I don't think we've recovered from that. And I believe that Mr. Mulvaney and his new hench person over at OMB are still hostile to transit. And I assume that that pressure and that attitude filters down. And it was a very broad bipartisan consensus of the Congress that said no, hell no, and pushed back. But now we've got other issues. One would be, the changes in the risk assessment process that are incurring additional costs. Where did that idea originate?
Actually, the risk assessment process from 2006 until 2016 was at the probability 65 level. It was at the probability 65 level, and it was changed to probability 50 at that time by FTA, and neither time was it sent out for notice and comment. And I want to clear up, I think there's some confusion as to what we use that for. It's an internal tool that FTA uses to measure the risk in the project, and so it is not adding cost to the project. So it's, it's your budget and your costs. So if the budget says the project is going to cost $100 million, and yet, you cost it out at only $75 million, you need to add $25 million to the project, or you need to make the budget and the cost meet. So it's not about adding additional cost to projects or increasing those costs.
But it requires them to maintain a larger contingency fund, regardless of the merits of the project or the viability of the agency or anything else. It's an arbitrary thing, and it does require them to set aside more contingency funds, correct?
It requires them to predict more accurately the cost of the actual cost of their project, and we believe that that's good governance and that that's what the taxpayer deserves to know, that they have a better than 50-50 chance of the project coming in on time and on budget. And like I said, this was a tool used for many years internally by FTA and was just changed for the last 2 years from 16 to 18 when we reverted back, seeing project costs, bids coming in much higher than what were predicted, and we felt that it was necessary to go back to that probability 65.
Okay, then have you or any member of your staff ever strongly implied, and we have heard this repeatedly from transit agencies, they won't say that we have to come in under 40%. They just say, we have never approved a project that came in, that wasn't below 40%. And so, I mean, if that's not the case, I'd like you to say it now, that you're willing to look at and approve projects at above 40%, because, we have just heard this so many times that is the word in the transit community. Even though the law prohibits that, even though the law sets a much higher threshold, that the agency is saying, no, this is policy, as set informally by the administration.
So this is an approach used by both the Bush administration and the Obama administration, and we believe that the best chance of success for a project is when it's a blend of local, state, and private contributions.
Got that, but Congress says 51, and your agency is telling people you have to be under 40. Will you say here that there's no informal policy that you'd be totally open to looking at projects that come in over 40%, and they would have as good a chance of approval as anything else given their merits? Yes or no?
In fact, Chairman.
Yes or no?
Chairman, we just moved the BART project in San Francisco into engineering at a 43% share. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, many of our mega projects.
It's not a new start.
It's a core capacity project, but it is a large contribution on
why did the agencies across the country have this impression? And why are they all coming in under 40%?
Historically, most of our large projects have come in under 40%, but that's no different than many of the large projects in past administrations. When you're asking
But
for
I never
billions of dollars
heard
of federal
before from the transit agencies that they were being bullied to come in under 40%.
I am not aware of anybody bullying.
Okay,
any
so you
transit
are
agency.
willing to look at projects and approve projects over 40%.
We always look at every project and we base
Are
it
you
on its
willing
merits.
to
Of
look
course.
at and approve projects over 40%
Yes,
up to the
Chairman.
statutory cap?
Could you
Yes,
answer the
Chairman,
question?
absolutely.
She says yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.